Oh, here, do you know my problem with the BB NAIJA show? One of my problems is that there is, just a series of periods of people doing nothing. Now, in the reality shows that I have watched, I have seen that, whatever they are doing, they cut off irrelevant parts. They cut off irrelevant parts to make sure that whatever activities that are going on, it rhymes or it matches with the purpose of the show. Is it finding a husband? Is it winning a prize? Is it finding a wife? Is it falling in love? Whatever thing they're doing rhymes with the purpose of the show. That means you just don't see people lying about carelessly, or people sitting around. Yes, people can sit around carelessly, people can do stuff behind the scene, but you don't get to put it on for the world to watch. That means you are saying, oh, you useless people who have no work to do, come and watch. And I am not saying that people who are watching are useless or they have no work to do, because the thing is, if you are passionate about something, it's really difficult for you to let go. It's really difficult for you to count your time when you are watching that thing or when you are doing that thing. So you can imagine how much addicting it is. So many of those shows, for example, the shows that I like, I hardly don't miss them. Once it's that time, even if I'm outside, if I can make it home, I try to make it home. But it's not something that I do and forget about the relevant things that I am supposed to do, let alone to have the patience to watch people just sit around. Yeah. Oh, now he's sitting. Oh, now he's crying. Oh, now he's going to eat. It is terrible. From what I have seen, from what I can tell, people, I feel like, why? Like, why? Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Blessing Chidinma AMADI. I'm a lifestyle tutorial and faith vlogger. Yeah. So it's been a little while, just a little, and here we are. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, thank you for coming here. If you are returning, thank you for coming back. Well, today I just wanted to talk about something that almost all of us in this part of the world, Nigeria, know about. Almost, because definitely not everybody know about it. As you can see from the title, I want to give my opinion on BB NAIJA. Everybody gives an opinion on BB NAIJA, almost everybody. I see people fight about it. Even in my class group, people fight about that freaking show. Everybody fights about it. How should I say, many people fight about it, and it's just something that people have so many controversial opinions about. So let's go right into it. I've heard several people say the show is a demonic show, is an occultic show, is this and that. I'm sorry, it's not a laughing matter, because this is really serious for some people, the fact that it's a demonic show and occultic show. Well, I don't know about that, and I really don't want to know. I don't even want to dive deep into finding out whether it is this type of show, because I'm not even into the show. So, but I just want to talk about the vices. I have always wanted to know, what is this show about? Because each time I heard or see people fight about it, I would think, what is BB NAIJA about? And browsing it or googling it didn't give me the kind of detail that I wanted. So I just decided to take some time, read it up, and watch a few clips. I just recently read someone saying that this show is a show in preparation for after the rapture, that is for Christians or for those who believe in the rapture, and that it is trying to prepare people for it is trying to prepare people for the fact that during the Antichrist, so to say, that there will be, you know, a one word sort of thing where everyone is watched. So it's trying to prepare people for that particular, for that, it's trying to prepare people for that particular moment when everyone is watched for what they are doing. You can be seen by someone, some particular being. You are being watched. Yeah, that sort of thing. Now, I don't know about that. Like I said, I don't know the origin of BB NAIJA. I don't even care about diving deep into that topic because I have no use of it yet. But I just want to state that if people are just coining out those things out of their mind, because the truth is ignorance is a disease. Now, if you're ignorant of something, that something exists or that something is done a certain way, you can easily begin to say that it is demonic, it is occultic, or it is some type of thing just because you are ignorant of it. Now, there is something called a reality show. Reality shows are mostly filmed and almost all your activities are being watched. I don't know the details of BB NAIJA, like I said. If these people have other reasons or other revelations why they say these things, that's okay. But I'm just beginning like this because I don't want to come off here and, you know, condone people's ignorance. In this part of our world, it's not something that we are very used to, but in many parts of the world, there are a lot of reality shows. I watch reality shows. There is an American reality show called Bachelor in Paradise, and I really love that show. Not like, I won't say I'm a mad fan of it, but I watch it a lot. So everything you do in that show is watched. It's just, you know, all of those things put together brings the purpose of the show. It depends on what is the purpose of the show, whether the people are coming there to win a prize or they're coming to find love or whatever is the purpose of the reality show. But however, there are so many reality shows, and reality shows are filmed. Everything about it is filmed, like you are being watched, not by some evil person, but the activities of the participants of that show is supposed to be filmed, even when they don't know. Their attitude, their characters, all of those things put together makes up a reality show. So for someone to just base on the fact that, you know, this show is being filmed, all of your activities, even when you are sleeping, that is not just, you know, that is not a basis for it to be a demonic show. But what are my points? What are the reasons that I can say this show is not a show that I'm really into? You know, I've watched clips of BB NAIJA, and I've basically seen people being filmed doing nothing. Like, people sit down and they are filmed doing nothing, and it's just surprising to me because I'm someone who is watching it because I want to know, what is this show about? What are they trying to point out? Where is it heading? And I just watch people sitting around, just maybe eating, talking some talk that has no meaning, or even discussions that have meaning but just among themselves. Sometimes their voices are really low, showing us people sleeping and snoring. And I'm sorry, I don't get it, but I really don't. And I think that it is a waste of time for people who sit for hours watching people doing nothing. They are equally sitting and doing nothing because they are watching people doing nothing. And you can imagine the hours that young people or even old people, all of the people who are into that show, waste while watching that show, or shows like that in general. Let's talk about shows like that in general, because I believe, as a young person, I believe in change, and whatever pushes change, whatever pushes, you know, young people, especially from the part of the world that I come from, the kind of government we have, the kind of things that we experience, I am someone who really is passionate for people being empowered to be the best of themselves, so that we can be able to together bring a lot of change or a better government. So when things like these that waste our time, things that have the power to bring change, instead bring about a lot of negativity, it gives me a lot of concern. Now I've heard these people in that show discuss sometimes they are really discussing something that is good, but it's not something that is impacting, because people spend a lot of time talking about their conversations. People who watch the shows, you go on Twitter, you go on Facebook, you go on Instagram, you go everywhere and see people talking about them, people talking about the talk that they talked, if you get what I mean. So what about if those things that they are discussing on that show is something that can spike you young people, or that can spike the internet to discuss or to bring up conversations that matter, conversations that matter in our society, within ourselves, in our schools, in our organizations? What about the things that are discussing with the influence that they have to bring millions of people together to watch a show? What about them discussing things that spikes up conversations that make meaning? Because this is dragging along people, and these people are, just wasting their time. And then when you see young people, every young person you see is talking about one useless thing or the other. Yes, it is useless, because what they talk about, what are we talking about? This person has been evicted, this other person has not been evicted, or you must win the money, this and that. And you find out that what happens in society is that we have a chain. In fact, when people talk about the show being demonic, it's even if I want to buy that idea, I won't even be buying. Even if I want to buy the idea that there is something about the show, I won't even be buying the idea of the fact that it is demonic. If I want to buy an idea, and mind you, I'm not buying an idea, but if I want to buy, I won't be buying the idea that it is demonic or occultic. I think I would prefer to buy the idea that this is a way to turn away the hearts and eyes of people, the masses, to do irrelevant things instead of focusing on the things that can progress our lives and bring positivity. In watching this show, for the clips and minutes that I have watched it, sometimes I'm really aching. I'm really like, okay, what next? What next? What next? And before you know it, I just see someone from somewhere talking, someone is crying now, someone, it's just, I'm sorry, but it's a boring lackadaisical show for me. Like, people being reluctant about everything. Maybe there are things that maybe there are particular parts that really show things that are inspiring, but I'm not gonna sit and watch a show for straight 7 hours when only 1 hour it's the time that it is representing or presenting something that is sensible, something that is meaningful. I'm not going to sit and watch that show for that long. And when people sit and watch it for that long, it changes their thought line, it influences their thought process, and that is my concern. That is what I want to lay out there. That is my opinion about it. People have opinion about it being demonic and all that, but my opinion about it is, how much time are you wasting watching a show that is influencing your thought line in a very empty way, in a very meaningless way? How many hours do you sit watching that show? How does it contribute to us? Okay, people go on that show, they become popular, they win some sort of prize, which I don't know, and for what reason they win it, and then they come out only for people to follow them. Young people follow them, millions of young people follow them. Sometimes the number of followers you have determine what you can say, what people can buy from you. Now, if these people, but the people with the dirty attitude, the bad attitude, the negative attitude, come out with all this number of millions of viewers and followers, and you see young people following them, I just want to know what these people can contribute, or what positive way they can influence in the lives of these young people. Are we not creating or following a chain of, producing young people, or a generation of young people who are just useless to our society? Well, that is the first major concern for the show that I have. And if we let our children, or even we, watch the shows that are meaningless, I don't know where we are heading to. You can't blame the government for everything. This is something that I have always known. I know this. I know this. And I believe we all know it. No one is to teach us that we cannot blame the government for everything. We cannot. It is in our power, in our hands to, bring about change. I'm just imagining how many people fight about the show, what it contributes to us. How many shows do you watch that are contributing to your positivity and to the positivity of your environment and of your society? No, really, how many shows? It is even better when not watching any shows than watching shows that are contributing nothing to us. And I feel like in this part of our world, people watch more of those shows than watch any amount of news at all. The way that we get our own news is like from Instagram, from Twitter, from WhatsApp status. Very hardly do you see a person pick up a newspaper. Very hardly do you see a person turn on their, news station. That rarely happens. I know this. I've been in places. I've met people. I've seen people turn on their televisions, and I've seen people's interest. How much the interest of people is the climax of it is entertainment. And there are some entertainment that can even like give more value to your thought line, and give more value to your passion, and give more value to the things that you are interested in, that you are passionate about, that can progress us, take us to the next level. But those things that are just basically vain, it's concerning. I mean, it is. Really, it is. Well, I didn't have much I was going to come and say. I'm not saying people should stop watching the show. I'm saying people should put a limit to, the kind of time that they waste on things that does not benefit them, and, adds nothing to our world. I've seen people in places win stuff, or become stuff, or become magically, maybe by the virtue of a show, or just some sort of competition, or just anything, any TV show, by virtue of any kind of show, becomes something that when they become it, they try to give back to their community. The problem with this part of our world most of the times is that people become something and they never think about giving back to the community. And it's just because what they are becoming, they're not even aware of it. Like you see people of 20, 21 years old got on a show and they go there and fight. And when they become whatever they become, people come to their aid, or whatever thing happens to them, or after the show, they become something. They are part and parcel of this community, of the society, of this country. And suddenly they find themselves in a position where they can give back to the country, or they can give back to their society. When you hear people from some part of the world talk, you always hear them talking about giving back to the community. It's hardly you hear such things in this part of our world. Giving back to the community is really difficult because everyone is fighting like for themselves alone. And when people are fighting for themselves and still complaining about the government, and we are in a position where we are even worse than the government by virtue of the things that we do. It is hypocrisy, to say the least. I can't say enough of it, but I just started thinking about this after I've seen watched clips of the show and just realized what it is about, and it just makes me feel, I actually, should I say, embarrassed. I felt even embarrassed just to sit and watch what people watch. It's just a group of people, some who talk, some who don't talk, just going about the daily activities. And then rather than go about mine, rather than do thoughtful things and positive things in my life, I just sit and watch them. Well, it's your call. It's your call, people. But I just think every young person out there should think about more innovative things, more creative things that can instead, give us an edge in in our world, country. Education is power, and education is not just by going to school. Education in all forms of ways, and this type of shows are not in any way educating. Therefore, entertainment, and they should remain entertainment. They shouldn't take up 100% of our lives and our attentions and our thought lines and our cheers and our health, and then we have nothing to fight for. We have nothing that we stand for. We have nothing that we pursue. We have nothing that we are after. We have nothing that we can say, this is the thing that we are reaching out for, and we're gonna get it. We have the young people who have this power. We want to be the leaders. This particular show of mine has come to an end. Thank you for hanging in. If you have any comments, leave it below. You don't need to be rude. It's just a conversation, and this is my opinion. So don't be rude, because if you're rude, the community guidelines we follow, your comment will be taken away. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share. Bye bye.